topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV, where we bring you educational information from top local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Now sit back and listen to experts in family law, association law, hearing loss, business brokers, home care, along with many other topics. Now here are your hosts, Steve-O and Sophia.
Hey, good afternoon, New Jersey and New York. Welcome to another Ask the Expert show where we bring you the last 16 years, the top experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Do we have a great show for you today? Okay, I'm a new fan. I have become a new fan of this expert. We're going to be talking about Medicare today. And Stephen Fromm, who is probably the greatest Medicare agent in the country. In fact, we're going to be even doing an entire East Coast, including Florida show. He sent me a package of he breaks it up for his clients. And first of all, before we get started, good afternoon, Stephen.
Good afternoon, Steve. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Listen, when I opened up the box today that you sent me, I was like, each thing was better than the other. And the thought that you put into this for your clients, anywhere from a coffee mug to the suckers we were just talking about, even the things like putting your pills in so you don't miss a day. You thought of everything, Stephen. I'm just, we
try to cover every single detail as possible.
Well, the first thing, I want to show you a few of these things before we go to your questions, but I mean, this is the card that was in there. Hope you can see that. Look at the unbelievable. Of course, he wrote me something nice. None of your dang business. And then it starts off. Oh my God! I've got it sprawled out throughout my office. Oh, I hope I didn't lose you there.
I'm here.
Okay. There we go. Okay. So first of all, look at the information. Social Security. You've got something in there for everybody. Medicare. I mean, it's so professionally done. And then you got this book on the Medicare breakdown. Look at the author in the back. I wonder who that is. Stephen Fromm. And insurance services. I mean, it is amazing. And Stephen, again, I want to just show, I've got it all here in my office. You know what? Even the fan. I thought that was so cool. A little handheld fan. And of course, how important is this to someone's on meds? It just, you thought of everything, bro. I got to show you these suckers. And here's like a little bit of everything. I hope you all can see this.
I can see it. Yep.
Little bit of everything. And then here's those famous suckers. And what he does is you don't get everything in your package, but he breaks it up, a little bit of everything. Stephen, I got to tell you, this shows how you run your business.
Thank you. Did you like our coffee mug?
I loved everything, Stephen. I got to say this because this whole thing reflects on how you handle your clients. You're in a business, we're talking Medicare. You're in a business, it's a little older demographics, and sometimes we have to talk a little bit slower, a little bit louder. Medicare is so confusing. So the first thing you need is someone who really understands about Medicare. And you have just shown how strong customer service is to you.
Very important. Very, very important.
Tell everybody about your company.
Well, my name is Stephen Fromm. I'm the founder and owner of Fromm Insurance Services here in New Jersey. I lost track of how many years ago. We specialize in Medicare and under 65 health insurance. Our goal is to help seniors with Medicare, to educate them and provide clarity so that we make sure that they enroll in the right Medicare program that will best meet their healthcare needs. And the overall goal is just to make a positive difference in someone's life. That is our overall goal every single day, to make a positive difference in someone's life and have a client for life. So we're happy we do that.
Stephen, I'm going to tell everybody the way we do our shows, we break them down by cities, we break them down by states. And I was looking for someone our Florida area is such a big area. And I started thinking about this. I said, you know what? This guy is so good. I am going to see if he would handle the entire eastern part of the United States. That is a rare compliment coming from us, because we've done business a certain way for the last 16 years. But I trust Stephen so much on how he's going to handle our listeners. And Stephen, you haven't let me down. I think that what you do is so important, because there's so many, because I was in a position where it was time for me to go to Medicare and I had no idea. And I know there's so many people out there that have no idea. Tell me now, let's get started, because the enrollment period is over. There's a new that's going to be over, next month for Advantage?
Yep, for Medicare Advantage, it ends on March 31st, yes. Mm-hmm. For anyone that wants to possibly change their plan or go back to original Medicare. That's what we review for them right now. So,
Stephen, do you like Advantage Medicare?
Do I like Medicare Advantage plans? The answer to that question will be yes, as it fits the needs of a certain demographic of people. Just like original Medicare fits a demographic of certain people. So I like it. And the fact, again, when we do our needs analysis with every client, go through there to make sure they understand the difference between Medicare Supplemental and Medicare Advantage plans, so that we can help them make an educated decision as to which would be better for them, be it original Medicare or Medicare Advantage plans. So again, every single scenario is so different. And that's why we take the time to do that really in-depth client needs analysis.
Stephen, I was really surprised that we do a Medicare show together, but a lot of the letters coming in are about long-term care. People do not, first of all, they have no idea how expensive it is. And, there's umbrella coverages out there like skilled nursing and recovery care. Can you touch on that?
Yeah, well, that's a great question, Steve. You know, Medicare is an all incomprehensive program. However, there are exposure issues and there are gaps. And one of the things I think we've stressed before on this program is we do discuss that with each family regarding the exposure issues and how we talk about umbrella coverage. We constantly are bringing up the fact of umbrella coverage because we want to help protect them against exposure. Skilled nursing is a great example. You know, a certain amount of days are covered with skilled nursing. Then after that period of time, there could be a per diem cost, which could come out of your pocket. And so we want to educate the families that, hey, if you go to skilled nursing after a hospital stay of 3 days, you know, you stay longer than X amount of days, you could incur these costs. And then the first question I have to someone is, how would that impact your budget?
Yes.
And everybody's like, that would really impact my budget a lot. And it's like, well, guess what? We have a way to help protect you. And then, so we go through these home care, recovery care programs to talk about whether or not this person would like to recover in the skilled nursing, or maybe they want to go to home care. Maybe they want to be able to go home and be able to pay for a home health care aid. So that's what we go through with these programs to educate them and say, hey, guess what? We do offer, we can help you. We can help you and understand what we're offering to them. Makes a big difference. Many people are grateful. They had no idea something like that existed.
Stephen, I know when you sit down with new clients that you talk about how much like assisted living is. And that has to put them into shock. It has gotten so expensive.
Yep, it really, it's funny you said that. I'm just on the phone with my mom before. One of her best friends is actually moving to a community in Tampa. And the pricing is remarkable compared to here in New Jersey. But still, when you talk about $5,500, $5,500 is still $5,500.
Right.
And, you know, some of the recovery care programs that we have allow you to extend not just past 360 days, but depending, it could go up to 720 days. So this program could help you pay for expenditures for almost 2 years. And as you mentioned, long-term care is a very expensive program. So guess what? We have these other programs available through carriers that are less expensive that could provide you the benefits to help pay for assisted living or pay for those types of care that are not covered by Medicare. And it's unfortunate a lot of seniors are not aware of these programs because not many agents bring them up. And if you don't know about it, you're not going to ask questions about something you don't know. As I always say, I know what I don't know. Right. And the good thing here is I know. And that is why it's so important to do that needs analysis from day one so that the senior and their families understand the importance of these additional programs that we have to help complement Medicare.
Stephen, aren't there gaps that show up between policies?
Definitely. There's a lot of gaps, and that's where the umbrella coverage comes in. As I mentioned previously, Steve, we're constantly talking about umbrella coverage, you know, be it cancer insurance, for example. You know, a lot of drugs may not be covered under Medicare. Certain experimental treatments may not be covered under Medicare. And then you have your non-Medicare costs that you could incur for traveling and lodging, or maybe pet boarding or whatever, home care, whatever it may be. And so on average, that could run $20,000, $25,000. So then the question becomes again, how does that impact your budget? And the first question is, of course, it will impact my budget a lot. So we have those programs to help fill those gaps. In addition, we talk about retirement with these also. You know, retirement money is for retirement. Do you want to end up using retirement assets for cancer coverage or anything like that? No, we have the ability to help you cover these things, or skilled nursing. So that's all part of the equation that we talk about.
We just got a text from Mike Newton. He wants to know, where does working with you differ from working with an estate planning attorney?
Wow, that is a complex question. Well, I'm a licensed Medicare agent, so my specialty is insurance. I do not focus on elder care or estate planning. I happen to know about it because of my dad, who educated me about a trust planning, elder care. So I will mention to my clients the importance of something like that they should consider when they're making all of their plans. Now, again, I don't offer any advice. I just mentioned that they should consider it something like this because it is complex. And, that's a very, very important issue. But for me personally, my experience is just insurance. I specialize in insurance. So
this is from Craig in Brooklyn. He wants to know, I have had Medicare for 3 years. I've been listening to your show for the last 2 months. Can I switch agents? That's a good one.
well, first of all, thank you very much for listening to our show for the last few months. We appreciate that. The question of switching agents, that is a great question. That is something I always ask because I say, are you currently working with an agent? And they say, yes. I go, great. How's your relationship? Great. I'm not here to change any relationships. So I do have people that call me that are with agents, but they have questions and I will answer those questions for them. With respect to changing his agent, that's entirely up to him. I mean, he has been enrolled in certain Medicare programs through this agent. And the question will become, are you happy with your agent? And, why would you want to change? I guess that would be my first question that I would ask someone like that. Why would you want to change? Because my job is to help people. And if they're with somebody, I'm always hesitant to change a relationship. Our business is relationship driven. And I'm not that person that wants to ruin or take a relationship from one person. So I always ask these questions up front, and let's see how that goes.
Stephen, I think because of the show, people really get to know who you are, how you do business. And, I haven't even told Stephen this yet, but I am going to be changing over to Stephen. I got to tell you, I had a real bad agent to start off with. And just doing the show with Stephen, I have learned how important an agent with great knowledge makes a huge difference. So I know I'm going to be changing over to Stephen starting for next year. And I just wish I'd have met him 4 or 5 years ago. So, Stephen, again, because someone just wrote, can you explain what an umbrella coverage is again?
Sure. Another great question. So what we do during our client needs analysis is, not just educate Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage, Part D, but we talk about what are some of the exposure issues with respect to Medicare. What does Medicare not cover? And as we just mentioned, cancer, heart attack, and stroke, there are certain things that are not covered. If you have a Medicare Advantage plan, there are certain things like a hospital stay and that could lead to, out-of-pocket costs for you. And how will that impact your budget? I always go back to that. So there's hospital insurance to help cover that. Again, for skilled nursing, there's recovery care or home care products to help cover those gaps. There's always a gap. And our goal is to identify those exposure issues through umbrella coverage to educate the senior or their family saying, hey, you could incur costs, but we can help you with that. Even with dental insurance, with original Medicare, dental insurance is not an option. So, I have a few carriers that I work with. Again, asking detailed questions on their need for dental insurance and always educating them. I've had people call me up and say, I have great teeth. And I'm like, that's great. I'm so happy for you. And then my first question is, well, what if something acute should happen to you, like you need oral surgery? What's your plan? And then it's just silence. And because they're like, I never thought about it like that. I go, as we all age, so do our teeth. So when you rather have a plan in place to help you, my thing is if you don't have a plan in place, then you will plan to fail. So have a plan in place. And so again, just constantly making people think. I tell people all the time, what do I do for a living? I make people think for a living. That's what I do. I make people think for a living. And, and from that, we get results and we get happy clients. And they refer other folks to us.
Stephen, when should people start, at what age should they start planning for Medicare?
They should start planning at least 6 months before their 65th birthday. That is very, very important to do. And we now, as I mentioned to you previously, we have a Medicare 101 webinar that is running on Facebook constantly right now. And we're getting so much traffic from that. That's great. I'm very happy to hear that. Here in New Jersey now, I'm running some Turning 65 seminars. We just did one of our first ones. We got great reviews. Actually had 2 people call me, and I'm very good at public speaking, and I will have two people call me and said to me, that was the most detailed presentation they've ever sat through. And that led to many questions. So I took that as a very high compliment. So
you're going to be getting a call for from Tampa, Florida, a community association group that I gave them your phone number. They want to know about you making a presentation. They don't care if it's by video, by Zoom, or in person, but they are going to want you to make a presentation, which they've got 260 units. It's a retirement home. And I think this relationship you and I have now, we just signed one of the biggest personal injury firms in New York, and they do a lot with Social Security, and they want to meet you. So this is such a great thing. We've got a couple minutes left, Stephen. Tell people why they should call you.
They should call me because our goal, again, is to help every family with education and clarity with respect to Medicare, making sure they make the right decisions regarding their healthcare needs. We want to help them avoid any lifelong penalties, to make sure they get the enrollment done in the proper time frame that it is required. And that's honestly what I stress the most. It's just, hey, I'm here to help you make a positive difference in your life. And so many people are happy with that. They love the fact that, hey, listen, you're a real person. You really want to help me and make a difference, not just today, but for the future as well, because things will change. And they want to be here for me to help them do that.
Well, my little care package shows how much you care. Stephen, tell people how they can reach you.
Well, for the show now, we have a new dedicated telephone number, which is the 877-801-4440. And that number is now just dedicated for the show, as well as they can always go to the website, which is www.frommeis.com. And there is a contact form on the website they can fill out, and then information will come directly to me, as well as now on our website, they can watch our Medicare 101 webinar and also register for a call from me. And finally, we did put our podcast up on the website now, so people can always turn in and listen to our podcast. So that's how they can get in touch with us.
Well, we're going to see you for your big East Coast show soon. And if you missed part of the show, you can go to iHeart and listen to the show, or Spotify, or you can go to YouTube. Stephen, we're so lucky to have you. We'll see you soon, bro.
Hey, thank you very much for the opportunity, and you have a fantastic day.
Okay, thank that beautiful wife of yours too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, that's Stephen Fromm. Folks, I'm telling you, when it comes to Medicare, Stephen is so good, so meticulous what he does. Please give him a call. That's going to do it for us today. We're going to go and see you next week. Everybody stay warm. Thank you, Juan, for all the great work you do. We'll see you again next week.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Tune in next week and every week to hear more from our experts on personal injury, insurance, air condition repairs, estate planning, Medicare, and many other topics in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. See you next week.